Good morning, Lubbock, West Texas. You're listening to The Wake Up Call. Thanks for joining us today on this Friday, August the 7th. Happy Friday. It's going to be another hot weekend. 97 degrees for a high today. It'll be much of the same over the weekend. Thanks for joining us. Benji Snead here along with producer Brennan Riker. And our special guest in the studio this morning, as promised, Lubbock music legend. Can I call you a legend?
If you want to.
Junior Vasquez. I was looking at your career, your albums. I mean, it was like normally when I do these bio searches, it's like one page, gives you the highlights. Yours is like 14 pages of everything you've done.
Well, I'm old, man. Yeah, I'm old. So you bet.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for inviting me, man. When he says the wake up call, yeah, dude, it was like you made me get up at 6:30 this morning.
Well, it's a life change
you
for a lot of us around here.
You evildoer, you.
Yeah. But I ran into you earlier this week.
Yeah,
and I thought, man, Junior would be great, and it's a little change from the norm for us. Normally, we're doing a lot of government stuff, politics, what have you. But we like to have a little fun on Friday. So, what have you been up to?
Oh, that's a loaded question, man.
Yeah,
you mean for the last 69 years,
right?
Or for the last couple of days?
Yeah. Are you still active with projects? And I mean, you've done it. We'll get into it, but you've done a lot. You don't just go around town playing your guitar.
Yeah, I mean, right now, as far as any projects per se. We are working on a project that we're going to do. I haven't played the Cactus Theater in, I can't remember the last time I played it. I think I opened up for Firefall back in February, I think. I can't remember when it was now. Time is hard to decipher nowadays as far as, 1 week from a month, a month from a year. People say, that happened last month. And I said, no, that was last year. But anyway, so.
The older you get, the faster it goes.
It's crazy. It's totally crazy. But anyway, all that said, got a call from Daryl here a few months ago, and this gentleman wanted to produce or have a show with Dan Fogelberg music.
Yeah.
At the Cactus, and specifically to talk about prostate cancer, because that's what Dan Fogelberg died of. Those of you that are familiar with Dan Fogelberg, he was really big in the 70s and the 80s and into the 90s as far as just kind of a pop singer-songwriter, incredible singer-writer. But anyway, so they wanted to do a show. This guy wanted to produce a show, and Daryl asked me if I would be interested in helping, and I said, no. At first, and he talked me into it because anyway, because those shows, man, they're hard, and you put a lot of time and energy into it. And,
is it music?
Yeah, music.
Okay.
Yeah. Dan Fogelberg, he's the guy that did the song, but leader of the band, did "Longer Than There Have Been Fishes in the Ocean."
Yeah,
that guy. And so anyway. So I agreed to do that. So that's kind of something that's in the making, other than just me, doing my regular.
Do y'all have a timeline?
My regular gigs. It's September the 19th.
Okay.
Saturday, September the 19th is when it's going to.
Yeah, you were talking about Daryl. That's Daryl Holland.
Daryl Holland from the Cactus.
Yes, we've had him on the show. Yeah, he's a great interview.
Yeah, he's he has so much information in his little old brain. Specifically with music and entertainment, those kind of things. He's
pretty well connected too in the industry. He brings some pretty big folks through Lubbock.
He does. I mean, Ricky Skaggs. He was just here recently or last week, and he's had him a couple of times already. But I got to see the last time he was here, Ricky Skaggs and the
Bluegrass King.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was incredible.
He is incredible. I remember years ago he brought in when he first bought the Cactus from Caldwell. He brought in Marty Stewart.
Oh yeah.
And I had heard that, and I'm a big fan. And I called Daryl, and I said, we need to promote your show on the news. Is when I was at KCBD. And he said, well, if you want to get some video, he's doing a sound check in about 10 minutes. So I grabbed I'm a news director. I grabbed a camera. I'm like, I want to go see Marty. He was playing that mandolin.
The mandolin,
like crazy. And the Cactus made that. I mean, do you agree? People don't realize it's kind of underrated, the sound quality in there.
Yeah, it's gotten even better.
Acoustics and all that.
Yeah. From what I hear is that it's gotten even better just recently. Daryl, I don't know if he bought some new equipment and had somebody come in and adjust the EQ of the room and really just, pin it down into making it a super, super high quality.
Yeah. We saw Ian Moore. We've seen him several times there, but recently, about 3 months ago, sit there in the third row, and that's the sound in there is incredible. When you get somebody that plays guitar like that, it's a great show. Okay, so you're doing that show on the 19th, but you're still going. You still?
I still perform. 4 nights a week. Pretty much just here in town. I do travel a little bit. I go to Amarillo once a week, and my wife Mickey and I, on occasion, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, we'll travel out of town. And go do some either listening room type venues or house concert kind of stuff.
For those folks out there that Junior that aren't necessarily too familiar with your background, and I'm gonna get to the question.
Yeah, sure.
Why'd you stay in Lubbock? But let's talk about your background, memories growing up in Lubbock. You're from here. You're one of like 11 kids.
Yeah, one of 11. And actually, I was born in Lubbock, but I wasn't raised in Lubbock until we moved to Lubbock in 1971. My dad was a farmhand. And when I was born, he was a farmhand in Lorenzo and in an Idalou area. And so I started my first and second grade. I went to Idalou, and then my dad moved, and then we moved to Petersburg, and I finished my 2nd through 5th grade. And then most of my 5th and finished my 5th and 6th and went to Roosevelt through my 6th grade, then to Abernathy, my 7th grade, and part of my 8th. And then we moved to Lubbock in 1971. And that's where I went to Matthews Junior High School. And my mom, as a matter of fact, still lives in the same house that we moved into.
Oh, wow.
She'll be 86 here in a couple of weeks.
So you came right after the tornado.
96, I'm sorry, right after the tornado. Right.
Yeah, wow. We've seen a lot of changes over the years. Big musical family. Even were your parents also?
Well, no, my parents were not musicians, but music. Like it is from a lot of That's one of the things about the culture here in West Texas, whether it's the Hispanic culture, the Black culture, the white culture. One of the things that's an intertwining web between us all is music.
Right.
Just like you.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? And music is a big part of this culture, especially here in West Texas. And so I was raised listening to music, and I had 2 older brothers that started playing music early on, and I had an uncle that was a guitar player that he would come over to our house, and he would bring this gigantic acoustic guitar. And I learned how to play when I was 10 years old. But I didn't actually own a guitar till I was 14 years old. Oh, wow. But I was playing on his guitar and my older brother's guitar. And I even had a band when I was 11.
That's what I read. I read that this morning.
Yeah, at Roosevelt, and and I was borrowing my brother's guitar and
the local rebels, or what was it?
It was the Young Rebels.
The Young Rebels, yeah. 11 years old. What songs did y'all play?
Oh, we played like Louie Louie and Hang On Sloopy and Louie Louie. I said we gotta go. That kind of stuff. Yeah, we just did like 3 or 4 songs. It was at one of those assemblies, and it was I wish I had some pictures or audio or something of it, but all I have is a memory.
Oh wow! And were you nervous at 11 getting up?
All I have is a memory. That's a good song. That's the title for a song.
That's an idea for a song.
There you go.
Yeah. All I have is a memory.
Yeah. What did you ask me again?
I forget. Yeah. Were you nervous at 11?
I don't recall. Again, I don't really remember. I remember rehearsing.
There's another name I wish I could remember.
Yeah, I wish I could remember. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. We got up there and we did what we were supposed to do. And there was had a guitar player, another guitar player, myself, the bass player, a drummer, and some background chickadees playing tambourines and stuff like that.
Wow. Yeah, anyway. Junior Vasquez on the program this morning, talking all about Lubbock music, his background. Coming up after the break, I want to ask you about because you've seen it all, how the music has evolved and changed in Lubbock over the years. We'll dig into a little bit of that.
Sure.
If you've got a question or comment for Junior Vasquez this morning, let us know. 806-771-0923. He brought his guitar, so I'm assuming you're taking requests from listeners if we have one.
Yeah, and if I know it, I'll play it, and if I don't, I won't.
It's like we say, if we have a question, we'll go back getting an answer for you if we don't know it.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Junior Vasquez right after this. Stay with us.
Wake Up Call with Benji Snead continues on 92.3 The Hub, the voice for freedom.
Welcome back to the program. 8:20 a.m. You're listening to the Wake Up Calls. We ran out another week of 92.3 The Wake Up Call. In our final hour here today, visiting with Junior Vasquez, local music legend. Before the break, I said I was going to ask you this. So you've been doing. I mean, you had a band when you were 11. I mean, give me a break. So you've seen a lot change over the years. How has the music scene in Lubbock evolved since the 70s? Is it better now?
Well, I don't necessarily think that it's better. It's just, like a lot of things, it just transitions. Mm-hmm. There's definitely more, just like there's more people here, right? In Lubbock. Population. So there's obviously, makes sense that there's going to be more musicians.
Right.
And et cetera, et cetera. So that's one of the things that's kind of cool is just watching a lot of these younger people come in, mm-hmm. from the 80s and 90s and, and 2000s, and now, like listening, talking about your son.
Yeah, he says.
These new kids that are coming in their 20s, et cetera. But one of the things I guess that's a little bit different now is it seems to me that back in the day, in the 70s, when I was doing music back in the 70s here in Lubbock, it was mostly bands that were playing.
Right. Very
few single and dual acts, because there wasn't very many places to play like right. there is now. Nowadays you can just throw a rock and somewhere in Lubbock and you're going to find a restaurant any Friday or Saturday with live music.
Yeah.
And so there's nowadays there's as much music, but it's more along the singer songwriter, along the solo or duo.
Right.
There's not very many places for bands to play like there was back in the 70s. So that's one of the things that's changed.
Sure. Okay. It seems to me the economics of it. It would be hard to make a living if you've got to pay the full band. So now you got these solo drum machine guys and all of that. Is that the case, or do you just charge more if you have a whole band?
Well, no, you definitely charge more if you have a whole band. But one of the things that has not changed a whole lot per se is as far as the pay is concerned. Mm-hmm. As far as the pay that the musicians get. And the economics of how much money you were getting paid back then versus how much you're getting paid now, mm-hmm. and growing with the economy is we're way behind.
Right.
Some of us are still making what we were making 20 years ago. Mm. And so it's crazy.
No, there's not a cost of living adjustment.
Thank you very much. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. That's exactly. There's not. There really isn't. Yeah. And so therefore, if you get a 4 or 5 piece band, you're gonna get these guys that the majority of them, and maybe just select few that are not, but the majority of them, it's just like most of the musicians in town have daytime, full-time jobs. There's very few of us that are doing this full-time mm-hmm. and making a living at it. And there's only a handful of us that are actually doing that. And that's part of the reason, and
you got there though.
Oh yeah. I've been doing that for, 20 years.
Yeah. A long time. So you're trucking along 2019-ish, doing your thing. And I wouldn't miss you. There was a period where where's Junior at this weekend? And we've known each other a long time. But about 2020 hits COVID.
Yeah.
How do you survive that as a musician?
Well, that was definitely a hard one. At that point, one of the things that I was able to do is we found that PPP money.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who, somebody. For the life of me, I can't at this moment, I can't recall, but there was an individual, a musician individual somewhere that discovered that. And so I just started, asking some questions with some mm-hmm. bankers around town, and there was some monies available mm-hmm. for people like us that were, and I can't remember even what PPP stand for, but it was some kind of.
Brennan's about to tell you.
Yeah, yeah. It was some kind of funds that were available for people that weren't able to work, and so it was just some money that was basically handed out, and you didn't have to pay
just
it
to
back.
keep you surviving,
just to keep you surviving,
get you through it.
Yeah, yeah, and it was so that helped a lot. We were able to do it a couple of times within a year span.
Yeah.
And
it was through the CARES Act.
Yeah, okay.
Paycheck Protection Program.
Thank you very much. I knew you'd pull it up.
There you go.
And so anyway, and then I shared that information with several other musicians, and so I know there were several of us that pinged in on that thing, and that helped a whole lot for that whole year.
I remember I was working in the news department during COVID, which had a whole separate set of challenges in and of itself. But I remember we would go out and do news stories about, because that was the music segment in Lubbock, anywhere, for COVID was really so unique of the kind of challenge, because you make your living off being in public places.
You bet.
And we would have them out there. Some of you guys would be outside when people were coming to pick up their food because you couldn't go in the restaurant.
Yeah,
and you had your little tip jar out there. And I remember we did a story. Were you in that story? I can't remember, but you guys had to figure. Much like the restaurants, you guys had to figure something out real quick and be creative about it.
Yeah, and I think that was a major key that helped. Is that aspect of it. And then remember when I can't remember how far into it when they said, okay, the restaurants can be open, but only 40% of or whatever it was. Remember that percentage stuff. And then you had
to be spread out at least 6 feet apart.
People like Triple J's, and there were some other restaurants that were gracious enough to let us come and play.
Yeah.
And
you found out real quick which restaurants had the best management, because if you didn't figure it out, you weren't open.
Yeah. It was a crazy time, but you know what, man? We're very resilient.
Yeah. Especially in Lubbock.
Lubbock, and us musicians, and then of course the whole country was funked out at that point.
Yeah. Well, we're past it. Is it true?
Amen.
You've opened for Styx.
Yeah.
David Allan Coe.
David Allan Coe. That was back in 1975, 76, somewhere in there.
What was David Allan Coe like?
David Allan Coe was a mess.
Yeah.
I think he had just gotten out of prison. I don't know how many times he went to prison. I don't know if he went once or twice, but
he was drunk the day his mom got out of prison.
Exactly. No, man. You know what? He was a very gentle, big. He was a big guy, and he was very kind and nice and gentle. He invited us into his green room, and and shared some stuff that as a early 20-year-old guy probably didn't need to be messing with. But
right.
I won't go into that per se, but
what's that Hank Jr. song? I took a lot of things that messed up my thinking.
Something along that line.
Yeah.
But he was a very, very gentle soul, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else that people would recognize?
And that's really about it. And that band called Batdorf and Rodney, but and I think that I opened up for B.W. Stevenson at Fat Dogs as a solo once or twice. Wow. That was back in the late 70s, early 80s.
All right, we're gonna have to get your guitar out during the breaks, so so you can play us into the breaks.
Okay, sure.
Going into the final half hour here, Junior Vasquez live in the studio this morning. Thanks for being here. I haven't even got through the first segment of questions I had written down, so because it's just fun visiting with you. We'll maybe tell some. And these are I didn't even know you opened for David Allan Coe till I pulled that up.
Yeah.
More with Junior Vasquez on the other side. Stay with us. 92.3 The Hub. Welcome back to the program. That's Junior Vasquez playing us into the segment. Awesome. Brought your 1980, what year is it? 81 Guild guitar?
Yes, sir.
I've got a 69 my dad had that I've since confiscated.
A 69?
Yeah.
I bet you that thing's sweet.
So I turned 50 last year, and my family for my birthday. Had it, I don't know what you call it,
just set up, refretted.
Refret had a bunch of stuff done to it.
Called a setup. Yeah,
it sounds better than the newer Taylor that I have. But I love it. What song was that?
Nothing. I was just
courting.
I was just courting, just
yeah,
making sound.
So we were talking about how the music scene in Lubbock has changed over the years, and you've been involved in a lot of different projects, tried a lot of different things. But I want to talk about your faith for a minute.
Sure.
I remember our friends Bill and Debbie Deturnion.
Sure.
His name comes up more than I ever thought it would on the program here with different guests. Connections.
Everybody knows Bill.
Connections I didn't even know he had.
Sure.
Anyway,
good people.
We went with them back when the Methodist Church was doing the first
light worship hour. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had no idea, but I had followed your career, and we walked in. You're leading the praise and worship.
Yeah.
So what got you into that? And
oh boy, that's another story. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
And in 1981, through some friends that introduced me to for lack of a better term, just introduced me to Jesus and his teachings. And my wife and I, Mickey, both committed our lives to that walk in 1981.
Oh, wow.
January the 17th, 1981, on a Thursday night, we had an incredible conversion and realized, who we were and what we were and what we were not. I'm sorry. And anyway, without getting into any kind of preaching of that
Sure.
or anything too elaborate, we made that commitment to be followers of Jesus, and so we've been doing that since 1981.
Yeah.
And discovered all this new music that we had never heard of back in the 1980s, in early 80s and in the 70s. They had the Jesus Revolution.
Yeah.
And you had several
Jesus music.
Yeah, and it was it was great music. I never really even heard of it.
There's a bunch of hippies.
Yeah, a bunch of hippies, and they were just playing the same kind of music per se, just with with a different perspective.
Right.
And discovered this new whole set of music, and by 1983. We had started going to this little small church, and we started playing that the Christian music, and we stayed in that field up until about 2.5 years ago, and what they started naming contemporary Christian music, contemporary worship music, and we went to several churches. And help some of these churches transition from the contemporary to traditional, and the traditional services, where we just regular hymns, and then the contemporary music, the worship music, which is a totally different field. But anyway,
so
that's another story.
I'm glad to know the story because I didn't know it went back that far.
Oh, yeah.
Because you keep your gigs and your spiritual a little separate. But
yeah, I do.
Tell me what. Most musicians hate this question, but if you can, you've written a lot of songs.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't say that I'm a prolific songwriter, per se, but I have written. As a matter of fact, here in a minute, I brought something.
Oh, cool!
Our newest album that I was gonna. I was gonna tell you when I walked in. I said I'd come bearing gifts.
Nice. And we have some swag for you also.
Awesome. And so there's a little story behind these two things that I'm going to give you.
So you've got a vinyl record here.
A vinyl record, and then an old T-shirt from the band that I was in the '70s called Peyote.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I've
but you've heard of that. But anyway, all that.
I have a CD with you with hair down to your.
Yeah.
Right.
To your okay.
Side.
Yeah. The It'll Turn Around CD.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about?
I was going to ask you what's favorite song you've ever written.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. And so we were talking about me and not being a prolific songwriter. So I don't have I probably have well under 100 songs. I don't have. Maybe 75.
That's 100 more than some people in the room.
Yeah. And then there's some writers that have, literally hundreds of them, and that kind of stuff. And I have ideas and stuff, and I may even have a little bit more than I think. But anyway, to be honest with you, I don't really have
Do you play your
all-time
own
favorite? I do some of my original music.
So what's one that you would play in public?
Well, the one that I do often is one of my newest songs that I co-wrote. That's on this new album that I was gonna might as well go ahead and transition to it.
That's beautiful.
A year ago, Mickey and I went into the studio with Alan out at ACA Studios. And you know Alan Crossland? You need to interview him.
I know the name. Okay, write it down.
Yeah, Alan Crossland. He has recorded all kinds of people out of his studio, and he'll have some great stories to tell you about.
Great.
You know, he had his connection with the Maines Brothers and with Don Caldwell.
Oh yeah.
And Andy Wilkinson and all kinds of other people and some other people that are up and coming singer songwriters. But anyway, so we went out there and I had a dozen songs that I wanted to put down. And so through some pretty neat happenings, I was able to go into the studio at to where I didn't have to finance any of it.
Nice.
It was financed through some just. That's another story that I got stories about stories about stories.
Right.
You and I could sit down and we could talk for hours on how this came to be. But anyway, so we got this album and it's called Chapter 23, and we recorded it last year, and we have not yet, as of yet, done an official release. We're hopefully doing in October, and when we do, I'll let you know.
You kind of have now.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind Chapter 23?
Well, Chapter 23 was just I was writing this song, and
Excuse me.
it was I had come up with a couple of lines. A couple of lines was where do we go from here? Now that we turned the page, that chapter's done. And then the next line, I think Chapter 23 promises to be adventuresome. And I could have said Chapter 19. I could have said Chapter 10. It just Chapter 23 just blurted out.
So you didn't sit down and count the chapters you and your wife have been.
No. Well, the cool thing about that is that and I had put that song kind of in my back pocket and eventually started performing it, and then once people started asking me about it, and then I thought, you know what, you big knucklehead. My wife's birthday is May 23rd.
There you go.
More importantly, our anniversary is October the 23rd.
There you go.
And
Michael Jordan, number 23.
So it just so I guess I was.
So you
subconsciously.
Named that, I was going to say you named it before you realized that.
Yeah. Before it's not like you said. I didn't think the number 23 is her birthday, is our anniversary. I'm going to write a song called Chapter 23. No, I was just sitting here. Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Now that we turn the page, that chapter's done. Yeah. Chapter 23. Again, I could have said Chapter 19. I could have said Chapter 5. I had no intentions of using Chapter 23. It's just what came out.
Sitting around trying to figure out what rhymes with 23.
And that's how you do when you write. A lot of times when you write songs, you just start playing ideas, and you may just mumble a bunch of words that don't make any sense.
Right.
And then one word kind of sticks out to go, okay, let's get off of that. And most writers write that way.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, but you were asking me about one song that I like.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a song that's off of here that I've been performing.
Okay.
I'll do a piece of it.
Yeah.
It's called Little Things.
Play us in the break.
I will, yeah. These little muscles in my face can't fake a smile another day. All the small talk that we make, I can't hear a word you say. The chemistry inside of me, it makes me want to run and hide away. Hey, hide away. What can I take to help relieve tension taking over me? Every step is incomplete, can't feel the ground beneath my feet. Anxiety controlling me, I know it's in my head. I can't breathe, oh, I can't breathe. My head is upside down, my heart is inside out. I'll lay my body in this bed until tomorrow comes around. All these little things seem insignificant, but when you live with them, they haunt you all the time. It's the little things, the not so little things.
Yeah.
I can sleep through the night. Little thoughts that cross my mind. I'll shake the house, flip the lights. I can stop it, Lord, I try. How can I be an enemy of something in my head? I can't see, oh, I can't see. My head is upside down, my heart is inside out. I'll lay my body in this bed until tomorrow comes around. All these little things seem insignificant, but when you live with them, they haunt you all the time. It's the little things, the not so little things, not so little things.
Great. We'll be back with Junior Vasquez right after this. Welcome back to the program. You're listening to live music here in the studio. That is Junior Vasquez playing us back into this segment. I really appreciate you being here. This is we've not done this before. We've not had live music in the studio, and I think it's a good break, especially on a Friday. Are you playing anywhere this weekend?
Actually, tonight I'm playing at the Escondido Grill.
Oh, cool. Okay.
On the little patio.
Escondido Grill. I'm trying to remember where that is.
Oh, that's the Spirit Ranch.
Oh, that's right. I've heard that before.
Yeah. Oh,
is it open to the public tonight, or is it private?
Oh, no. It's open to the public. Yeah.
I've not been out there. I heard it was great.
Oh, you haven't been out there? Oh, dude.
Not since it reopened.
Yeah. Oh, that's the patio of patios. You got the gigantic elm trees. You got the little pond, and you got the peacocks out there, and
well, maybe
it's awesome.
I'll have to ask my wife what I want to do tonight, but I might want to do that.
I bet you would. And as a matter of fact, Micah's going to play with me.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah,
he's great. Junior Vasquez this morning, 806-771-0923. If you've got a question, comment, a memory of Junior, odds are many people do. I want to ask you this because you and I worked together on a couple of projects over the years. One of them being you write these jingles because I was in advertising and I did a lot of production.
Right.
What's tougher, writing a full song or a 30-second jingle?
That's a good that's probably about the same, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
People think that 30-second jingle is like, and it's just as difficult, because now you on a 30-second jingle you want to have. You want to try to get a point across in a matter of a few seconds. On a song you got 2 minutes, 3 minutes to lay it all out. But in a 30-second jingle, you better lay it out quick, man.
Yeah, it reminds me of something I used to tell the reporters in the newsroom about word economy.
Yeah,
I would say
that's good.
It's a marked. That was my phrase, but I would quote Mark Twain.
Yeah,
when he was writing a letter to his friend. And he said, I apologize in advance for the length of the letter. I didn't have time to write a short one.
Okay.
And that sounds like how you would do a 30-second jingle.
Yeah. And I'm still doing them. And I just recently, this year alone, I've already written 5 jingles.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. And I'm working some with Channel 10 in Amarillo.
What was that? Oh, Brent McClure. Yeah.
Yeah, Brent. I'm working with Brent.
Brent's a friend.
Yeah. He used to be at KCBD.
Yeah, we kind of grew up together.
Yeah.
So what was that Mexican food restaurant?
Lujan's.
Oh, it was on all the time.
All the time.
That was, a lot of people don't know, that was you.
Well, actually, I wrote the jingle, but I wasn't me singing it. It was Bo Garza sang it for me.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, because I do that. I mean, the majority of the jingles that I write, I have other singers, because if I sang all of my jingles, then
you'd be all over the place.
Yeah, it would be, then there wouldn't be a uniqueness.
I was going to say it wouldn't be unique to the advertiser.
Exactly. So and I sang some of them. But that was Bo sang that one, Lujan's, and he still rattles me because I made him sing that. That's a high A.
Yeah.
So he really had to tighten up his underwear to hit that note. But yeah, still doing it. Yeah.
Well, you've obviously figured out how to do what you do, and be successful in Lubbock. What advice would you give young artists trying to build a career without even leaving West Texas?
Yeah, that's one thing too. Is I never left.
Right.
You know, and there's a few of us still back from the '70s. You know, I tell people that there's some of us that have helped along the way to keep, because people always ask us, you know, about. I'll answer your question in a minute. Is that the famous question is, what is it about Lubbock? You know, that puts out.
Right.
You know, there's several answers. Everybody has an answer of some kind. You know, but you know, musicians, you know, for lack of a better term, breed musicians. And so it's just been a constant thing from the 40s and the 50s and 60s and 70s. And it's a, you know, even generational. You know, there's families like my family. You know, now my kids are musicians. 2 of my kids are musicians, and Mickey and I are musicians. Mickey's dad was Bob Stufflebeam, who was a steel guitar player for Tommy Hancock and the West Texas Playboys. So there's 3 generations, right? And then of course you got the Maines brothers, you got the Moyers family, you got the McCrights,
Wally Moyers, yeah.
Right, and so that's some of the foundation, and then of course you have all these other guys that have been performing here in Lubbock, and we never left. You know, the myself, you know, the John Sprotts, the Mark Walneys, the DGs, right? Of course, Mike Pritchard, God rest his soul.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so those guys, whether we realize it or not, we've basically laid a foundation for everybody else to come, because we made sure that live music stayed alive. You know what I'm saying? And so people were thinking, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too.
Well, and people we take for granted the talent sometimes, and I know that's another kind of theme. John Sprott, you know, he's better known for playing with Elvis T. Busboy, but he said he doesn't believe this story. But I'm not kidding. I saw it. I was in a dressing room trying on a shirt back in the mid '90s. And there was a Rolling Stone article framed on the wall. Interviewed Eric Clapton, and the question was, "What's it like to be the greatest guitar player in the world?" He said, "Oh, that distinction belongs to a guy named John Sprott."
Okay.
And I thought, what? And John says, "I don't believe that, but I swear I read that in a Rolling Stone. I wish I could go back and find it. Maybe I was delusional."
And maybe you can, you know. But anyway, back to your original question. You know, I would
advice.
Yeah, I would just say, you know, be true to your craft. You know, and but at the same time, true to your craft. But at the same time, be open to morph. Be open to listening to somebody else's advice that has been in the business, you know, for a long time. It's just like if you want to be successful in something, you know, let's say that you want to be a successful plumber, you don't go talk to a banker to get information on how to be a plumber. You go to the plumber.
Maybe to buy your equipment.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And get as much as you can from people that have been doing it for a long time. Ask questions, and don't be afraid to lay it on the line, and be professional. You know, be on time. If you get a gig, you know, be ready to you know, you're being hired to do a job, and don't be complaining about, you know, anything. Just get there, do your job, and if they tell you to turn down. If they say, you know, you got to remember that. You know, those kind of things will allow you to be able to land gigs when because if word gets out to some of these, you know, restaurant owners that you're difficult, they're not going to hire you.
Right.
You know.
That's good advice.
And one more thing before I go,
please.
Lubbock Live Music Scene website.
Lubbock Live Music Scene.
Lubbock Live Music Scene.
Okay.
I want you to look it up here after I leave. This is a website that Mickey and I designed about 2 years ago, and it's a place where you can go and you can find out who's playing where.
We've needed that for a long time.
Yeah, it's called Lubbock Live Music Scene, and it's specifically designed for that.
.com.
LubbockLiveMusicScene.com, exactly.
Okay. All right, so let's say, last question.
Yeah.
Maybe one more. If someone were to make a documentary about your life and your music career, what would the title be? Put you on the spot.
Never give up.
I like it.
Never give up.
Never give up. Okay, yeah. Junior Vasquez, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for being. I hope you'll come back.
Oh, and let's do it because there's still so much
and
more.
I know there's more stuff going on. We didn't even have time to get to. Maybe we do a couple more segments. But
all right.
Thanks for being here. Thank all you folks out there for listening this morning. We'll be back Monday 6 to 9 right here on the Wake Up Call.